Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the Savvy Money Show. If you find any kind of value in this video or just find it plain funny, then please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, please hit the subscribe button. Now, with everything that's going on, there's been a lot of people bashing Warren Buffett and a lot of people jumping away from Berkshire Hathaway. And of course you had people jumping to defend him. But the main thing people have been asking is, well, he's getting on a bit, so is his partner. I mean, he's 89, his partner's 98. You know, is he losing it? Well, no offence, but he spent 5 hours without a break during, the interview, answering all kinds of questions that someone half his age wouldn't have been able to answer on the fly. I don't think he's losing it. Now, if you remember, I did a comparison from Berkshire Hathaway in a video before against leading stocks, and I said how Berkshire Hathaway A stock had an intrinsic value of 260,000. At the time, Berkshire Hathaway was at 265,000. It went up to 273,000 a share. Pocket change for some of you, I know. But if you see here, but based on that intrinsic value, you're paying £750 to have it managed, to have all those companies managed for you by the great Warren, not just by the great Warren Buffett, but by all his staff. Because people say, well, Warren Buffett is getting on a bit. What happens when he passes away? Well, he has already said how he's made provisions for when he and his partner pass away, to pass the company on to someone. He's the company he's devoted himself to. He has built up from the ground. He has put in place a management team to take it over, and I'm not worried about that. I'm not going in because of Warren Buffett. That is like a dividend. It's a plus. Although they don't pay dividends, Warren Buffett being there is a plus. But if he's not there, still looking at what Berkshire Hathaway gives us without him. Gives us a well-run company. He is to the side at the moment. Now, you have their management team and their researchers doing a lot of work as well. We look down here, has a market cap of 421 billion. P ratio, that's not correct, I know that, but Yahoo Finance has been like that recently. But see, look at this, 0.03. Now, see, sorry about this, that I'm not prepared enough. Let me see. Okay. Right, and we'll see. Yeah, see, 5.2. That's more realistic. That's what everyone else does. I don't know what's going on with Yahoo Finance recently, but it seems to not have the correct information. Now, thing is, it dipped to this price during the coronavirus when the whole of the stock market dipped, and then it jumped up again. But unless you had the money in your account and you got it exactly at the right point, you wouldn't have had time to do this, to buy. So it hasn't actually reached this point before. It has been 240,000, but that was like a year ago. Now, if we want to look at, and again it was just for a day, we want to go back where it was this point for a length of time, and I'm not saying it's going to stay at this point for a length of time, then, but you can see with the U shape, we are talking 2016 to 2017, and they have $100 billion more cash on hand. Now we go to the Berkshire B shares, which is more range, and you see how again it's the same, the same kind of graph, and again 422 million cap. Now why am I going in it? I'm not going in just because of the intrinsic value. I've already told you I don't always agree with them. My intrinsic value of Amazon was way too high. My intrinsic value of Google was too high. My original intrinsic value of Google was realistic, and then when I reevaluated, it came up with a way too high valuation, which classes Google as good value now. I just don't think it is in the long term. I think there's too many other factors. As I said, it's intrinsic value, it changes. There's a lot, it's just one data point of a lot of things. But with this, it is realistic because I use the intrinsic value along with a lot of other data points. And to show you, the real reason is the list of assets owned by them. They own over 50 companies they own 100% of. And if you see here, they own a lot more companies. They own over 50 there's over 50 companies that they own 100% of, and there's a lot of companies that they own over 50% of, and quite a few that are 90% or above. Most well known are going to be the ones they've set up themselves, such as bond insurance, auto sales, energy companies, and then you would have the other ones, such as that they've bought up during crashes, such as railway companies. One most well known would be Geico Insurance or Dairy Queen, and Geico is like a cash cow. You know, they own media companies outright. You know, insurance and finance, construction companies, well diversified. You know, you see there Dairy Queen, that says 99%. It's actually 100%. They own Duracell. You know, you can go down for ages there, Geico. I mean, you can go on forever with all of these. And, you know, medical insurance. He's a big lover of insurance companies. Now, see here, food and beverage companies, which would be doing well nowadays. Now, what you've got to realise is these are the ones that don't get a lot of that don't get a lot of attention, and then you have the other ones, the ones that do, the ones that are on the stock exchange. You have the Apple, the Amazon, you know, Goldman Sachs, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, you know, and this just goes on and on as well. You know, I mean, Store Capital, I own that myself. Visa, you know, you have got to think to yourself, what's going on? I mean, people say the biggest holding is in Apple, but the thing is, they own 5% in Apple. And if you remember, I did a video how he sold 30% of, he had 30% share of the shareholding in Apple, and he was their biggest shareholder. Then he sold it when it was at $3.20, and then he bought 5% again when it was $1.50. Sorry, when it was after the coronavirus, and he made $150 a share. And that's the type of company it is. When it sees that he sees that a company is overvalued, it doesn't matter what the analyst says, it doesn't matter how good the company is, he will sell. And when he sees good value from the company, again, it doesn't matter what anyone else is saying, he will buy. He makes mistakes like everyone, like he did with the airline stocks, but no one could have seen this coming. However, he will be getting billions of dollars in dividends from the likes of Apple alone. He will have made billions of dollars from Apple alone, from the sale and buyback. And you have to understand that for someone like him, if an airline stock goes bankrupt, him holding a bankrupt stock is very bad PR for him. So he doesn't want to take that risk. I mean, with likes of GM, which I can't see a future for myself. Now, he has probably accrued enough dividends to offset the initial outlay, because he's held it for a long while. And also, GM isn't just dealing with the motors at the moment, they're also making other products for another company while all this is going on. That's for another video. This is about the reason I'm in Berkshire Hathaway. They have $138 billion in free cash waiting in case there's a double dip recession. The Fed rates are going to go negative. So basically, if in that case, it'll be harder to get a loan, business loan. There's lots of businesses we see that are close to bankruptcy. Some of them have filed for bankruptcy, and if the right ones are looking at bankruptcy or come begging, say, help save us, you know, we're at the edge of bankruptcy, he'll swoop in, buy them for pennies on a dollar. You know, that's why he's getting all this cash. Not just to invest in the stock market, but to do what he's done with all these, and not for all these named companies that are on here, but for all these companies that we may think are, half of them are named companies, but to him are small name companies. But as far as he sees them, good value. You know, if you could pick them up, and because your name's behind them, you don't have to pay off their debt. You just people know you've got all this money, so they extend your credit. You carry on paying the wages and the leases on your properties and your suppliers until you're back in profit, and let the profit pay the debt. Then you're fine. I just think the price it's at, it's amazing value. I'll be jumping in today, buying as much as I can. Well, not as much as I can. I'll be buying shares. Once, or if it drops to 160, I will look to free up some cash elsewhere and buy more. If it drops to 150, and I doubt it ever will, I will look to put even more in. I don't mind if this becomes my main company, just because over the years this has outperformed other ETFs, it has outperformed other companies, and right now, by my valuation, it is at its intrinsic value. And you can, if you disagree with me, then please put in the comments below. If you agree with me, put in the comments below, but please give your reasoning why. I do, you may not think it because I don't edit my videos. You may not think a lot of work goes into it, but a lot of work goes researching behind the videos before I do them. So please like and subscribe, and please look into this company, because it is one that I think will go up, and I will be surprised if you don't make money. I mean, I'm surprised if it doesn't hit highs again. Now you can see how it's more or less an upward trend, and then it had a dip, and then it's carried on with the upward trend until all this coronavirus hit. And even with the coronavirus, went down, and then it's gone up again until he said he had to get rid of the airline stocks. Now, I just think it's incredible value at this price. You can't beat it. But please do your own due diligence. I'm just some idiot on the internet, some idiot on YouTube, and Warren Buffett's just some idiot in an office. But he's a rich idiot in an office who knows more than me. As I said, I'm not buying it because of him. I'm buying it because of the companies and their strategy. So let me know what you think. Goodbye.